Hi, we're going to look at Federalists 18, 19, and 20. They will be a look at all the confederations of the past. Remember, James Madison asked Thomas Jefferson, who was in France, to send him as many books as possible about world history, about world confederations. And Jefferson did that. They say it's 2 trunk loads, 2 briefcases full of books that Madison received from Jefferson and studied all these confederacies. And as you will see, he will review these confederacies here in 18, 19, 20. But what I'm going to ask you to do is while we go through these, you have to now start focusing on modern history, because we can learn a lot just by studying the history of the past 2 centuries. We're going to study the American Civil War, what led to the Civil War. And that is going to be actually more important than all these books that Jefferson sent to Madison. Because this way you can learn the American history, you can learn the one major flaw of the Constitution, which was the issue of slavery, leaving it intact, leaving slavery in the Constitution, in the system of American government. And sadly, they thought it would just go away. So all these great men, great thinkers, did have a flaw. And that was thinking that issue of slavery would gradually go away. I have other places mentioned what I think of the founders regarding slavery. I don't see the issue 100% this way or that way. It's more complicated. So I think I've been fair to them talking about them. But by just wishful thinking that it will work itself out, after 80 some years, as Abraham Lincoln said, the war came. So we'll look at 18, 19, 20, the Federalists, 18, 19, 20. But the biggest lesson we can learn is just study the American history all the way up to the lead up of the Civil War. That'll tell you so much. I will eventually introduce you to a great man like Abraham Lincoln. It'll introduce you to great thinkers of America, Thoreau, Emerson, all the abolitionists. These are the people that I hold in high respect. All of them. We'll talk about this some more. And then another part that you have to study, you have to start focusing on, is the history of Europe and then the world after middle of the 19th century. These are well documented, beautifully documented. You can see it of how a group of European nations went and colonized the world, took over all the resources, and with it brought the disease of greed, pride, which led up to not one war, but 2 world wars. And they cannot blame it on anybody but themselves. They're not going to be able to blame it on Africans, Asians, Latin Americans, this or that. This is greed and pride took over and gave us 2 horrendous wars, World War I, World War II. So these are very well documented. I want you to study those. Every time we go through 18, 19, 20, these 3 Federalists, we hear of lessons of the past, we have the greatest lessons right here in front of us. So that we can study these like James Madison did, studying the old confederacies, and participated in writing this new Constitution. We also can learn from history of the world, and hopefully one day, with guidance from American federalism and other systems, federalist systems with the European Union's experience, we can get together and create a new blueprint to unite humanity. I promise you, we have all the resources to learn from. We have the American experience. It's over 2 centuries. You'll see all sorts of characters, great characters, bad characters. You'll see what the Europeans did, what they went through, finally realized we can't go on and on killing one another. And that's where the idea of European Union came from. And we wish them, because they are our brothers and sisters, the best of luck. Today, there are elections, I believe, in Germany. I'm proud of the German people, the Swedish people that were most generous, opening their doors to all these immigrants. And if I were to ever get 2 tattoos, it would be a German flag and a Swedish flag, in just honoring what they've done. And if you happen to be an immigrant living in Germany and Sweden, especially in Germany and Sweden, make sure you're the best German, best Swede you'll ever be. That's how you can give them respect. That's how you can say thank you. Always be a human being first, and then be other things. German, American, Iranian. But be a human being first. That should be your priority. Put the health of this planet, our cradle, our home, first, and the future generations also first. Thank you.